Here we are, and we're just making noise. Bring your glass over here. We got
Here you go. Ooh,
cheers.
that had quite the sound to it.
Mm-hmm.
Water and limeade.
Got a noisy truck going by. We're outside
Might as well just
today.
get it done right in the beginning.
Right away.
So here we are at Sturgeon Lake.
And what is this?
This is the Jon and Tara podcast with Jon and Tara. Coming to you from Sturgeon Lake. I'm Tara. Which is on your way to Duluth, Minnesota. So between the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Duluth. 2/3 of the way to Duluth, wouldn't you say?
We're an hour away from Duluth. Yep.
Right. Yeah.
So it would have been about 3 hours and 40 minutes to Duluth from our house.
So the Highway 35 interstate that goes all the way down to Texas goes all the way up to, I think it ends in Duluth. Or in that area.
Yeah.
And then it branches off into some state roads and stuff.
Other roads that you can drive into Canada on.
So in case for anyone who's like really into geography and where stuff is, 35 goes north and south, and we took it a couple of years heading down to Dallas area.
Yeah.
And so just hop on I-35 and there you be. So here we're at Sturgeon Lake, which is actually quite a large lake. Our cabin is out on an island, a peninsula.
Yeah.
I can't say it's my island.
Well, they do call it an island because right there is the bridge and the water goes around this whole thing.
Okay.
So it is technically an island.
It's a wooden bridge,
because
a covered wooden bridge.
It's an old bridge.
Yeah, like you would see down south.
I saw you get nervous when we drove up into it.
I didn't get too nervous. I was more like, I was surprised it was such a big bump right away when you...
And it's wood.
Yeah.
It's made of wood. It's got the cover over it.
It's called a roof, John.
No, it's a covered bridge.
It is a covered bridge.
The covered bridge has a roof. You're right, Tara.
Thank you. So, just the sounds of nature are really beautiful once that truck went by.
Yeah. It's nice and cool out here, too.
Oh, it's just like perfect. And we were just saying how it's nice that...
Whoa.
Whoa.
Geez.
Way to go, John.
Knocking stuff around. It's 73 out here.
Yeah, perfect little breeze.
Whoa. John. That's because all our weight's on one side.
Well...
If you weren't sitting with one leg on the floor, then that wouldn't happen.
All right. So, I was just trying to paint the scenery here, the scene.
Okay.
And so, we're actually on a peninsula, and so the dock actually goes into, well, it's water.
No, we're on an island.
Yeah.
The dock goes into the water, yes.
Yep. But we're not looking over like the vast, expansive lake, which is actually a really big lake. We're in like an alcove.
We're on the small
it's
part.
A channel.
It's a channel. We're on the small part of the side. The lake is on the opposite side of the island. We're on the channel side of the island, yes.
There we go.
There's a huge swampy area, and then there's a channel that goes through.
And lots of lily pads and
flowers.
Lots
of lilies, yeah.
They're really pretty. Saw lots of herbs here as well. So anyways,
Yarrow, jewelweed.
Yeah, Creeping Charlie is another one we saw quite a bit of. Poison ivy in certain areas too.
Yeah. Which
you were having memories of.
Cattails.
When you were a kid getting into poison ivy.
Cattails.
All right, so that's the scene. Here we're gonna head up to Duluth area and go mountain biking and see what that area is like.
Tomorrow.
Did I not say that?
I don't know. I didn't hear tomorrow.
Okay. So hopefully we can check out Spirit Mountain, which we've been wanting to go to for a couple of years.
Yes, I have.
Well, for some reason my nose started running. And otherwise there's some good mountain biking trails from what I've seen online that since we've got e-bikes, e-mountain bikes, we can check out quite a bit.
Our specialized Turbo Levos.
Is yours still a Turbo Levo also?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that's
just making sure you can stay in the club.
Yep.
Gotta make sure.
I wouldn't want to leave your club. We have a hammock in the front yard here. We have a nice fire pit. Gonna burn some wood tonight.
Is that a hint?
Smoking that wood.
So we had
be on fire. This wood is on fire.
So we had some nice business talks on the way here. You're really polite, and you're like, so can we talk about business? Like you had something to share with me, which is really nice because sometimes when we're getting away, even though we do end up doing business, like technically this podcast is business and stuff, which is a fun thing too. But sometimes you just need to like kind of check out for a while. But I was into it, and what do we want to bring up from maybe some of that business talk?
Well, I'm polite with you. You know, I got to spend the night with you.
You have
spend the weekend with you.
Yeah.
Or the week. This is Sunday. Spending the whole week with you up here.
Yeah, so might as well start it out right.
Might as well be polite.
Are there certain things that you do in our life, in our marriage, that you're like, yeah, I'm gonna, not push it, or at certain times, or, I mean, because obviously when you're living together, you've got to be respectful,
Yep.
like
everything, everywhere, all the time.
Certain jobs you take to the other bathroom, not the shower bathroom, right?
Well, it depends, yeah.
That's being polite.
Well, both of us are polite.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can, nothing that comes out of you smells. So
No,
I mean,
right. I'm always polite.
yeah, it's like
Flowers.
It's like potpourri.
Flower shop. So yeah, there's obviously consideration. I was listening to a podcast this morning which was interesting. It was a business podcast, but kind of talking about your life and your dreams. And I think people are really familiar with dream boards. But what's interesting to me is that this is the first person I remember, or I recall, talking about involving those who are close to you, your spouse, of course, and maybe even your kids, in finding out what their dreams are as well.
Mm-hmm.
Not just being all out, what are your dreams?
Yep.
What do you think about that?
Well, we've done that for a long time. Regardless of what you have or what you are achieving, we know what each other wants and needs and what we're doing and how to help each other. And,
What do you think I want? I'm just trying to move the conversation and
You want to be able to...
Or do you want to share with me something that you want?
No.
No?
I'm not. Okay. So you just said you might want to share with your spouse, you might want to involve your kids, not your whole podcast audience, right?
That's true.
So,
yeah.
Sorry, folks. We can share
hear
the principles, but we're not going to share the actual wants, needs, wants, and dreams. Yes.
Okay. Well,
you can imagine that I would like to be able to get whatever I want whenever I want. That's a nice way to say it, right?
Okay.
You could imagine that I might want to have my own jet. You could imagine I might want to have an earth roamer truck with a camper on the back, one of the real earth roamers. You might imagine that I want to have a helicopter. Did I say that?
No, that wasn't.
Yeah, all right.
You said jet, but that's different than a helicopter.
Well, a jet and a helicopter are different.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, so if I'm buying and shopping, I'm like, no, don't just sell me the jet. I need this a package deal.
This is a package deal.
Yeah.
Set me up.
Right. And do you have earth roamers on the lot here anywhere?
Right.
You
could have the helicopter put on a trailer, and we could pull it behind the earth roamer. And then once we hit the edge of the mountain where we can't go anymore, we just fly over it. Yeah. Because, of course, there's not roads.
It kind of sounds like our Columbia trip.
Through and around. A helicopter would have helped in Columbia, that's for sure.
It would have been good to have a backup, just like...
No, it would have been good just to go out there in a helicopter.
That probably would... You might have set off more like mudslides.
No, they wouldn't. They have a big piece of property land in Irvin and his family. They had a huge plateau area you could land. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
Well, next time then, right?
Hopefully.
Going in a helicopter.
Hopefully. That would be a good goal. Yeah.
So you've often talked about, so here's a dream I know you have, a goal dream, is adventure trucking all the way to the southernmost part of Argentina.
Yeah.
So what is it about that?
From here.
From here.
From here, not going.
So like start out in I-35 like we were talking about?
Start out, we would probably want to go west first, but.
Yeah. It's just head out west right away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what's so intriguing to you about that?
Well, it's just straight up adventure. You speak multiple languages, and your Spanish is phenomenal, and your Portuguese is phenomenal, and I'm imagining all the way down to Argentina, all they speak is Spanish. I mean, there's probably a few other languages mixed in.
There's some indigenous languages, yeah.
But that gets us everything that I can't get us. Like, I mean, I'm sure everywhere I would stop if I went by myself, there would be people that speak English. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there might be, but I'm not going to be as favored as if I am with you and you speak the language.
And they'd be like, hey, Jason Bourne. Hey.
Yeah.
I think you do pretty well.
I do fine.
The mamacitas would be like, you want a tamale?
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some horchata. No, that's
Yeah,
not.
I'm not looking for any mamacita with a tamale, that's for sure.
Well, I don't, yeah.
Get a bit of, oh, look at the big blue herons coming in.
Yeah.
Hear them?
I think they
must
might have a
nest
nest over
right
there. Yeah, because I saw one.
Oh, they were talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Rah, rah.
So what do you think would be adventurous about that? Like
What isn't adventurous
well,
about it?
I think of our Colombia trip, and I think of
And
driving
here you
on.
are, and here you are.
Here I am.
Yes, you're
Yep.
sitting right here.
Yep,
You didn't even get bit by fire ants in Colombia. I did.
you're right.
Yeah.
Yep, I did take really cold showers.
Yes, you did, but you only had to look at the millipede in the bed. You didn't have to grab it.
John, it was a quadrilipede.
It was huge. Yeah.
It was extra long.
It was about
It was
6
like
inches long,
that
yeah.
sugar cane truck train.
I think it was 8 inches. I think it was 12 inches. I think it
Yeah.
should grow. I think the story should grow. Mm-hmm. No, it was about 6 inches long. It was big enough where I was like, oh man,
Like I recognize that, but
that thing could chew on me for a while.
yeah, it'd like to nibble on your ear. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, and then, at that point when there's stuff like that in your bed, I was like, either I'm not gonna sleep or I'm just gonna like turn it off
You're gonna zonk.
and sleep. Just like
you zonked.
I chose to zonk
You did zonk.
because it was such an adventurous / stressful trip
Strip.
that I was like, I'm not gonna lose sleep
It was
over bugs,
It was a
bugs in the bed.
great day.
It was amazing.
Great day to
It
go
was.
out there and
It was,
be out in the boonies,
Yeah.
as we would say here. They would say the top of the Andes Mountains.
yeah,
'Cause that's where we went.
it was pretty incredible. I don't want my stressful memories to.
We were picked up in Bogota.
No.
Did you fly into Cauca?
Cauca?
Cauca, yeah.
Well, that's the state.
Oh,
Now you made me forget the city.
I did.
Yeah, because you said
Pushed
the
it
other
right
name.
out of your brain.
So that would be an adventure. Yes. Okay. Just that's what happens in my brain is like we are evading drug cartels. We
No,
are.
I would love to.
We're
just,
riding on the sides of mountains
No,
constantly.
I would. Hey, if the drug cartel wanted to kidnap us, I would say I'll trade you a business seminar for my freedom,
Really?
for me and my wife. Yes.
Yeah.
And then I would say, don't make me press the button in my pocket because the Navy SEAL team is going to show up here in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You guys are all in trouble.
Right.
I'd say 20 seconds, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, I would love to go. I would have gone. I would have gone already. If I wasn't married to you, I would have gone. Mm-hmm. You're limiting me.
Okay.
Let me have some of your lemonade. Don't limit
It's
me.
limeade. There
Oh,
you go.
good.
Yeah,
That's
even
even
better.
better.
So, let's stay on topic, but we'll slightly change the subject because apparently I'm limiting you. So I'm going to help.
I'm definitely not going on any adventures.
Well, who would be your translator? I mean, apparently you still need me in your life and situation.
I do need you. I would
Because how do you
love
say
to
the cartel
I don't
that
talk to the
it's going to
cartel.
be 20 seconds before my military buddies show up?
I just tell them I'll be a mule. I'll just bring back a bunch of
Yeah?
stuff and put it on my helicopter and fly it in.
Yeah. And they're like, hey, Johnny. Yeah. Tell me about the truck that you build.
Well, it would have to be a narrow wheelbase Toyota.
Yeah.
I'd probably make it a diesel, because diesel is probably more plentiful and down there. I would have a friend of mine build it out. And I'd have a winch on the front, potentially on the back too. And I might put I don't know how durable they are, but I might put an auto inflate system on the tires. Obviously I'd have an onboard air compressor. I'd have a snorkel, but I probably wouldn't need it. I'd do a low snorkel, just like a short one.
Okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't have tires that you couldn't buy down there, but I would have some decent tires, And I'd plot out all the highways and the roads and stuff, and I'd see what type of tires I need. I'd look at the seasons to see, is there rainy season, is there, all the conditions that would happen, and then I'd go. I'd bring some water filtration. I'd bring some, water decontamination. I'd drink a lot of beer.
A lot of beer?
Yeah.
Cerveza.
Yeah.
All right. So are you camping in your vehicle? Are you tenting? Are you stopping at the hotel?
Well, it depends. If I wasn't married to you, I might be staying at
Hot tamales?
Tamale house with Mamacita.
Mamacita's hot tamale house?
Mamacita's hot tamale house. But I'm married to you, so you'll be finagling us a room everywhere we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get your finagling going.
Like, yeah, I got him. Depends on the situation,
Well, you just ask where we can rent a room.
With hopefully no quadrilopedes.
Yeah.
All right.
Not worried.
So what would you consider, well, I think our Columbia trip was an adventure. Have you been on other adventures in life?
Yeah.
Yeah? Any that you'd like to share?
We're on a podcast.
What else in your life would you consider an adventure?
Boy.
Kind of our hot spring tour was kind of an adventure in the way.
I think it was pretty great.
It was awesome.
Yeah. We went up through Wyoming, then we went all the way down to
Colorado,
didn't we?
and we went from the most family-friendly hot springs to retirement community.
The swinger hot springs.
Yeah, right. Clothing optional, but
Yeah, Dan the Dangler was over there,
yeah.
and Molly Mushy Puppies. She was there, and they ran up to each other and hugged. You remember that?
Yeah.
There's old people with all this flabby skin and all their bits and jungling.
Yep.
And they just ran up to each other and hugged. They just squeezed all that flesh together. And we're in the water. We're like, don't look.
No, you were like, don't look. And
I'm like, look at that. Oh, don't look. Oh, look at that. Don't look. Ah. Yeah, it was pretty incredible.
Yep.
Then there was ones where there's lots of kids and people. And so there's a few clothing optional ones, but
I think the one that we went to, we kind of happened upon in South Dakota was pretty amazing. You remember that day we went to Custer State Park, and just south of there is hot springs.
Mm-hmm.
And there's at the time, that was just a year ago, but someone had built up this spa, which apparently, 100 years ago, it was quite the place as well, but they had recently built up and
oh yeah,
a really
we
nice
went in there.
restaurant.
They had 2 pools. Yeah, we couldn't get into the restaurant because they were booked.
Yeah.
That's always a majorly
That's bummer.
aggravating thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, what'll it take? I'm sorry, we're booked. No. What gets me in? No, we're booked.
That one was really neat, though. That was well constructed,
Yeah.
like with the different pools and
Yeah.
yeah. So that was kind of that.
Yeah, they had a really hot one, and then they had a medium, and then they had a cooler.
And that wasn't technically part of our hot spring tour. That
No.
was going to Spearfish last year, and we just
Looked for a hot spring.
Well, I think we were going to Custer, and I had seen that was on the map.
Yeah.
Well, let's head there. Yeah. That was a nice adventure.
Yeah.
Spearfish was really great. It's a good place to go back to.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm kind of winding down from the day.
Yeah, I guess you are. Well, that's what being up at the cabin is supposed to do, right? You're listening to nature and
really calming me down.
I think there's so many things like that we're just really supposed to be in tune with, like I think our bodies are meant to do gardening and walking and like they say, chopping wood and fetching water.
Mountain biking.
Yeah, mountain biking.
Adventure trucking. Our bodies are meant to go to the southern tip of the Americas.
Yeah, yours especially.
Yeah. Then when we got down there, I think I'd want to go to Antarctica.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can I bow out of that
And
part?
then could work my way onto a ship. Go to Antarctica.
I think they speak English already by that time, and so you...
Well, for sure, the people on the ships, yeah.
Yeah. And, I don't know, bring back pictures.
Okay. Bring back a few samples of
Something?
alien DNA or something.
Sure.
Artifact from one of the pyramids down there.
Or early base camps,
Oh, there you are.
Something.
Okay. Little spider. Bye. Yeah, so we didn't really have a topic here. We're just kind of touching base. Huh? It's like, bam, here we are. We're up at our cabin for the week.
Airbnb cabin.
Yeah.
Give Airbnb a plug.
That's fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, look it up on Airbnb.
Yep.
Where are Jon and Tara?
It's a neat A-frame that they dressed up a bit, cleaned up a bit.
I actually like that it's not on the big part of the lake because it's not going to be busy and you don't get the wind. All those places we were walking to, they all get wind right in their face.
Yeah.
That's nice. Behind the hill down here.
Well, perfect.
Yeah,
Well, you did pick this one out,
I did.
didn't you?
Yeah. It wasn't cheap.
They usually aren't. I mean, it's peak season, too.
Yeah, and if you want a nice Airbnb, you're going to pay. But it's different having the whole house, and it's better than a hotel and better than an Airbnb room. We've done a few of those where we've been in somebody's basement.
Yeah, well, yeah, speaking of Colorado, that was a different trip, but
I don't really like those. I like, that one was fine.
that one worked out really well.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes you just don't know. Definitely read the reviews. I made this mistake one time of it had good ratings, but I didn't read all the commentary reviews. That will give you some insights.
Yeah.
But
Well, the one in Colorado was a nice walkout on the opposite side of the house from the, 90 degrees from the front door.
yeah.
Gave us a nice little porch in back with a walled-in area that was really nice to sit out in the morning. This is going to be nice, too.
Yeah. Well, it was a really nicely finished basement, too, which is not always the case.
Right. All its own separate controls, bathroom, laundry, everything.
Yeah, and a lot of times we like the whole place so you can have the kitchen, make your own food.
That we didn't have. But in Colorado, we were eating at a lot of great restaurants.
Yeah, I think we were, well, it was Colorado Springs, right?
Yep.
And so we were like, yeah, there's going to be good food here.
Yeah. That one restaurant we went to where we did the wine flight.
Oh, that was amazing.
You were so wasted.
Well, they were very generous with their It was a chef's special like pairing dinner,
Yep.
and they only sold a couple seats, and you literally sat at like the end of the galley kitchen, and the chef had a flight. He had stuff planned, but then he would also like customize stuff for
Yeah.
you, so depending on your diet, and everything was amazing. They were very generous with their wine
Yep.
pairings. Usually they might give you at the most like a quarter glass or something. They were doing
Well, and
generous
if
pours.
I asked for more, she gave it right away.
Yep.
I really like this one. I'll have another glass. Okay.
Yeah. It was incredible. I wish I remember the name, but
I'm surprised you remember even
anything.
being there.
Yeah, that was something else. No, I fortunately remembered most of the food. I mean, it's been a couple years, so I don't remember all of it, but did they had something, a buffalo, well, there's something buffalo.
We got that's a
Bullfrog?
bullfrog. Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't get horny toad out of my head. It's like, that's a horny toad. No, that's not what they're called.
No wonder you wanted to go out to eat. You're like, let's.
We could have frog legs here.
Yeah. I don't know. When you can have chicken drummies, it's like.
Frog legs are actually really good.
I've had them, but maybe I haven't had excellent ones.
Well, we probably don't have the biggest frogs around here.
Yeah. So is that good? Good for memory lane and dream alley?
Well, the principle behind writing down your goals and dreams, aspirations, whatever you want to call them, things that are not attainable to you at this moment, the benefit is that as soon as you write it down, say it, put a picture of it up, something like that, your subconscious starts to focus you naturally in that direction. And it's like in business, as soon as you say you want to be more efficient, you have to be careful, because you'll get so efficient you'll put yourself out of business. You got to say, I want to be well balanced. I need a little more efficiency. I need a little more effectiveness. I need a little more patience with my clients, with my contractors, with my employees, whatever. And you got to say that kind of stuff, and then your subconscious will start to line up what you need to do and how you need to behave and act, and then it'll drop the hints into your conscious mind, and then you'll be doing it automatically. But you got to be careful. You put up a $20 mansion, a $20 million mansion, and 7 supercars and all this stuff. You're gonna, unless you have a vehicle to get yourself to that, you're gonna be a very frustrated person, and you're gonna be angry, and it's not good. I mean, you see organizations that do that, and they say, put up whatever you want, put up whatever, because what they want is they want people to work their tails off and not think about anything except building the business. Now, they know that they're going to get good results. If you work hard and you're smart and you listen and you have mentors or whatever, you move in those directions, you're going to attain more than you already have, right? You might go from $100,000 a year or $50,000 a year to $250,000 a year. That's not tough to do if you're focused for 3, 5, 8, 10 years, right? But did you build something that's sustainable? Did you build something that's going to repeat? Did you build something that's got a network? Is it not only depend on you? You got to have a vehicle to go to the level that you think you want to get to. And most people can't evaluate that because they don't have experience. That's why the experience, mentorship and experience, and then somebody that actually cares about which direction you're going, instead of just somebody that's blurting out a bunch of, shit, goals and stuff that you should have, or, yeah, you can have that. I want a $10 million home. Yeah, you can have that. Very few people are ever going to have that. So no matter how much money they got, no matter how much they're worth, that's an unrealistic statement, because you got to know what it takes to manage a $10 million property. You know, that's a whole nother talk.
Yeah, that's a lot of money just to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think this right here, where we're at, this is worth $10 million. You know, not the physical property, but just the calm, the peace. You know, this probably floods. I mean, if this water went up a foot, this whole front yard would be gone. You can see that the drive is taller, higher ground than over here. So they had to build that up. And the walkway and everything is higher. So this probably regularly gets flooded. But
Well, if not just in the spring when it's all frozen and then melting.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go. 30 minutes of T&J, yipping and yapping.
Update.
Update. All right.
Okay, I have to cough again.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.